Good evening and thank you for tuning into Ashland Tonight News. Today is Wednesday, April 16th, and here's a look at today's top stories.
The leader of the Catholic Church comes to the United States for the first time this week. Stay tuned for more details.
Ohio's Attorney General finds himself in a whirlwind of controversy. Learn more when we come back.
And TV2 has an update on the tanker crash from last week on Route 30. Hear the details when we come back.
Also, a local woman was sentenced 20 years in prison after robbing two elderly couples. We'll have more when we come back. I'm Jake Beckley.
And I'm Shane O'Neill. It's all coming up next, only on Ashland Tonight News, for local coverage you care about.
Stay tuned. Thank you for joining Ashland Tonight News. Pope Benedict celebrated his 81st birthday today at the White House with a crowd of more than 13,000 in attendance. The celebration marked the first papal visit to the White House in 29 years. Steve Handelsman of NBC News has more on the Pope's historic visit.
Washington to sleep off his flight, well-wishers yelled, "Happy birthday." The Pope is turning 81. And he's notoriously shy, but neither kept him from speaking frankly about one of the biggest issues he faces in America: pedophile priests, the sex scandal still rocking the Catholic Church. On his plane, the Pope called himself ashamed and vowed to weed out priests who abuse children.
We will absolutely exclude pedophiles from the sacred ministry.
Benedict's arrival made history, his first trip as Pope to America, and President Bush's first trip to Andrews Air Force Base to greet a visiting dignitary. No president has ever done this, a show of special respect for a spiritual ally and a friend of America in the fight against Islamic extremism.
The Pope is expected to visit New York City and Ground Zero before heading back to Rome on Saturday.
A scandal is developing in the Ohio Attorney General's office. Criminal charges could be forthcoming. Michelle Nix of affiliate WMFJ has more.
Cindy Stankowski and Vanessa Stout were both interviewed by two investigators with Attorney General Mark Dan's office on Monday. Both women detailed what they say was sexual harassment by their boss at the AG's office, Anthony Gutierrez. Gutierrez was the director of General Services and is now on administrative leave due to the probe. Columbus attorney Rex Elliott says the two 26-year-old women told the story of a pattern of behavior that went on for months.
And the stories have been absolutely consistent every single time. There is independent proof for what they're saying. There are, benchmarks. There's text messages, there's emails, there's other people that are validating and verifying what they say.
On Friday, both Stankowski and Stout also filed a complaint with the Federal Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, and now Stankowski may turn to Columbus Police. Stankowski alleges that one night in September, Gutierrez pressured her to go out for drinks. They ended up at the Columbus area apartment shared by Gutierrez, the Attorney General's Communications Director Leo Jennings, and Attorney General Mark Dan. Stankowski says she felt drunk and asked to lie down. When she woke up, her pants were undone and Gutierrez next to her in only his underwear.
Potentially, yes. Rex and I have outlined the criminal procedure for Cindy, and she's going to make a determination here shortly whether or not to file a formal complaint with the Columbus Police Department Sexual Abuse Squad.
Attorneys for the women say they've been told the investigation could be complete by the end of this week or early next week.
Alan Schloniger of Canton pleaded not guilty yesterday to charges of operating a vehicle under the influence, commercial operation OVI, and failure to control. According to troopers, Schloniger was driving westbound on U.S. Route 30 last week when he drove off the side of the road and struck another commercial vehicle that had already parked along the roadway. Nearly 7,000 gallons of gasoline spilled as a result of the crash, which forced dozens of nearby neighbors to be evacuated from the area. Schloniger had a blood alcohol level of .067, which is below the legal limit for drivers in Ohio. However, commercial drivers are prohibited from operating their vehicles with any detectable amount of alcohol in their system.
A local woman was sentenced to 20 years in prison for robbing elderly couples. Cameron Atkins and co-defendant Troy Cook were accused of robbing an elderly Mansfield couple on November 20th and a Madison Township couple on November 28th. They were arrested after pawning gold jewelry and fleeing from a Mansfield taxi. Atkins pleaded guilty to charges of 2 counts of aggravated robbery and 4 counts of kidnapping. Richland County Common Pleas Judge James Henson imposed a 20-year prison sentence.
Employees at several liquor retail stores were cited for selling alcohol to underage customers in a Monday night sting in Richland County. Members of the Metric Enforcement Unit checked 78 locations using area young people under the age of 21. Of the 78 locations, 10 were caught selling alcohol to the underage customers. The sting took place just as prom season begins. Those caught selling alcohol to minors will be required to appear in court. Well, now for some campus news. The tension of Greek Week is coming to an end. Plus, tornado season is here and Ashland is taking proper precautions. It's all coming up next, only on Ashland Tonight News. Stay tuned.
My name's Andy McDonald. I ride this useless wooden toy for a living. It's hard. I've been doing it for 13 years. I'm still lame. I do a trick called a 540. Took me a good 6 years to learn. There's a whole generation of skateboarders out there that are just as talented athletically as any basketball or football player. It takes somebody that's not going to be afraid to fall down a lot, because you definitely will fall down. You're not a failure until you refuse to get back up. Drugs are only going to hinder what I'm trying to do. That right there is my idea of getting high.
Does peace really have a chance within our lifetime? At Rotary, we believe it does. We've created programs at universities around the world, dedicated solely to teaching peace to a new generation. There's a new symbol for peace. Rotary.
Hello, I'm Robin Meade, headline news anchor, and I bring the news to millions of people every day. Did you know that Ashland University is the 3rd largest private university in Ohio, offers nationally recognized programs in teacher education, political science, and finance, boasts a strong Division II athletic program, and is close to you, midway between Cleveland and Columbus? Ashland University is my alma mater. It gave me the individual attention that I needed to succeed. Explore Ashland University at exploreashland.com.
Look, my first tooth.
Dudley, spit out the toothpaste. That was the first time you brushed your teeth.
And I brush twice a day, every day.
Oh, here's that nice dentist, Dr. Benchley.
Yep, he showed me how to floss.
Why are your teeth blue?
I use my mouth guard whenever I play sports to protect my smile.
And visit the dentist regularly.
Remember, brush twice a day and floss once a day.
Welcome back to Ashland Tonight News. A battle of the Greek community has been shaking up the campus as Ashland University's annual Greek Week began last Thursday, April 10th, and will conclude this evening. This year's theme was the Greek World, which was based off of MTV's hit show, The Real World. Teams have competed in events that have tested their physical strength, such as Battle of the Sexes, Tug of War, Dodgeball, Volleyball, and Rock Wall Climbing. The intellectual minds were challenged in races such as the Gauntlet and through games of Jeopardy! Last night, each chapter performed at the yearly lip sync competition, which was held in Redwood. Each sorority and fraternity compiled music and dance together with themes such as Monopoly, Michael Jackson, James Bond, and Western. After the Monday night's Jeopardy! Event was over, the updated calculations left the sorority Phi Mu in 4th place, Alpha Delta Pi in 3rd, Delta Zeta in 2nd place, and Alpha Phi in 1st. For the men, Tau Kappa Epsilon is currently in 3rd, with Phi Delta Theta in 2nd, and Phi Kappa Psi in 1st place. Tonight at 9:30 p.m. in Upper Convo at the Greek Honors Banquet, the places for lip sync will be announced, as well as the overall winners of Greek Week. Awards will also be given out for achievements from the past year.
Spring is finally beginning to show itself in Ohio, but that also means tornado season is upon us. This past Friday evening, a tornado touchdown was confirmed in Lucas County with winds reaching 100 miles per hour, causing damage to trees, campsites, and billboards. In the event of a tornado warning in the Ashland community, safety services will notify the campus immediately. Designated tornado shelters are listed on emergency sheets posted throughout campus buildings. Typically, shelters are basements or lower-level interior rooms with no windows.
President Finks has stated that our economy has slowed, forcing all of us to take preventative measures. AU's income projections have again fallen, showing undergraduate revenue, graduate revenues, and outreach revenues lowering. President Finks is asking everyone to be diligent in their spending and to hold down spending as much as possible through June 30th. He has also executed a limited hiring policy that is in effect now and will continue through next year. Finks says that they are simply trying to be fiscally responsible to ensure the future success of Ashland University.
On May 9th, AU will be holding its first Women's Day on campus, entitled Accent on Women. The day will include lectures ranging from gardening tips and trends for spring to fitness in your own home. The event will also feature lunch in the Accent Room, accompanied by a cooking demonstration with two of AU's own hospitality management majors. All attending will also receive a gift bag. Registration for the event is $20 and is due by May 5th. For more information or to register for the event, call 419-289-5620 or visit the AU homepage at www.ashland.edu. Well, I'm sure most of you are enjoying the sunshine, but how long is it going to stick around? We'll find out. Stay tuned to see your weather updates with Leland Gottlieb. Ashland Tonight News will be right back. Stay tuned.
I joined the National Guard and never thought I'd be saving lives.
I never thought I'd have such an impact on my community.
It's more than money for college. It's built my character and given me a sense of accomplishment.
Citizen soldiers have two missions. One is right here at home during emergencies.
The Guard opened the door for me. Now I'm on a career path, and I'm the leader of my team. When your country calls, you go, proudly.
I put on the uniform, and I have a whole new outlook on life. Country, community, family. That's what matters most to me. If that matters to you, go to 1-800-GO-GUARD.com.
Hi, Mr. President. My parents believe that eating meals together will make our country strong. Is this something that you did when you were a kid?
I did eat with my family so long as my mother wasn't cooking.
It's not good making fun of your mother, even if you are president, but it is good to have dinner with your kids. We know the more often children have dinner with their families, the less likely they are to smoke, drink, and use drugs. So simply having dinner together can help your children forever, even if you're not a great cook.
You're a good driver, a careful driver, and you don't stand a chance. Not at a railroad crossing with bad sight lines and no lights or gates, where vegetation, buildings, or hills block your view, where you can't see the train and you only have seconds before it hits your safe, careful self, and you die. Go to angelsontrack.org to report dangerous crossings, because careful is just no match for a 200-ton locomotive.
Welcome back to Ashland Tonight News. I am Leland Gottlieb with your weather. Well, I'm sure in a great mood because it's sunny and warm out. Unfortunately for Greek Week, we had pretty bad conditions with rain and cold temperatures. But tonight, for the Greek finale with the awards, it looks like it will be a beautiful evening with great temperatures and clear skies. Let's get right to the maps. We have a high pressure system, which is down to the south, which is dominating our weather. Today we started out pretty cold, but now we're pumping up that southerly wind coming out of the Gulf, and it looks like it will remain here for the next few days. Unfortunately, to the west, there is a low pressure system, but let's not talk about that right now because we want to talk about the good stuff. Let's get right to the changes in the temperatures from the last 24 hours. Here in Ohio, we've seen anywhere from 9 to 15 degrees differentiating from yesterday at this time. And it looks like if you take a look at the eastern 2/3 of the country, they're all in yellow, which means good change. Temperatures have been increasing. If you look to the west, temperatures have been decreasing, just the opposite, but it will remain out to the west, and it won't be here anytime soon with that high pressure dominating our weather. Also, let's take a look at those current temperatures right now in Ohio. Here down in Columbus, we saw a high of 67 degrees, and in Cleveland, 66 degrees. And here in Ashland, we're sitting at 64. It may go up another degree or two, going up to 65 or 66. So get out there and enjoy it. Let's take a look if this will stick around for the next 3 days in that all-important 3-day forecast. We'll see temperatures in the 60s, upper 60s tomorrow, and partly cloudy. And then Friday, just another beautiful day, 72 and sunny. However, Saturday will be 65 with that next low pressure moving in. So if you guys plan on going up to Vermilion for the Teak Formal, keep that in mind. We may have some severe thunderstorms. That's all I have for weather. Here's Brendan with sports.
Thanks, Lee. Let's get right to the action of AU sports. The Ashland baseball team laid a thumping on the Saginaw Valley Cardinals on Saturday. They won 15-9 and 17-11. Head coach John Shalley made a change to the lineup after being swept by Findlay last Tuesday. Tyson Rowland, the normal leadoff batter, hit 6th, and David Quiroga moved to the leadoff spot. Also, Chris Haycox, normally the hitting in the bottom third of the order, moved to the 2-hole. The moves paid off handsomely for Ashland. Haycox and Chase Beatty each homered on the day twice, and Ben Menard picked up the win in Game 1 after allowing 6 earned runs in 7 innings. He also had 4 hits and a homer in the game. Matt Schultz picked up the win for the Eagles in Game 2. He threw 4 innings, allowing 7 runs on 11 hits. Simon Liston picked up the save after throwing the final 3 innings. The Eagles are 23-9 on the season and 5-3 in the GLIAC. They are at Mercyhurst right now for a doubleheader. The Ashland softball team split its home doubleheader on Saturday afternoon. They beat Ferris State in the first game 3-2, but the Eagles fell in Game 2, 9-0. Logan Hersey picked up the win for the Eagles in Game 1, allowing 2 runs in 6 innings of work. Shannon Gray worked the 7th for the save. Erica Miller drove in 2 runs, and Lindsey Brandt added 2 hits for the Eagles. In the second game, AU could not get anything going offensively. They mustered just 2 hits in the game. Shannon Gray picked up the loss after working 5 2/3 innings. She allowed 6 earned runs with 6 strikeouts and 3 walks. The softball team is hosting Findlay right now at Brookside Park. They are 16-12 overall and 5-5 in the GLIAC. The Ashland track and field team had a very successful weekend at Akron for the Northeast Ohio Championships. The AU women finished 2nd and the men finished 3rd in a field of Division I schools. Abby Cassandi and Shaylin Boyer finished in the top 2 spots in the high jump, and the men's team won 5 events in the Rubber City. Mike Jeffrey set the AU freshman record, winning the hammer throw. Kurt Roberts won the shot put. Dan Tierney won the pole vault. Nick Belanco won the 400-meter dash, and Max Hiltner won the 1,500-meter dash. The Eagles are in Cincinnati this weekend for the All-Ohio Championships this weekend. Ashland golfer Chris Robertson won the Ashland University Invitational last weekend in a playoff. After finishing in a tie at 1 over through 36 holes, Roberts made a birdie on the playoff hole for his 2nd collegiate win. The team finished in 5th place in a 9-team field. Coming in 2nd on the Eagles roster was Chris Bacon, who shot a 10 over par. The Eagles are in contention for the Division II playoffs and travel to Noblesville, Indiana for the Great Lakes Regional Tournament this weekend. That's a wrap on AU Sports this week. Ashland 2 Night News will be right back. Stay tuned.
Shalom.
Jam.
Salam. Hey, wa.
Hey there. Apa ya Pak? Pak.
Mir. Shanti.
Nhiệt Chanh Nhốc đi.
We all want the same thing.
Peace.
And Rotary clubs are making it happen. Through international scholarships for young people to promote peace and understanding around the world. Rotary. Humanity in motion.
Everyone needs to have a great game plan to be successful. At a moment's notice, you and your family need to know what to do when a critical incident, severe weather, or natural disaster strikes. You can do your part by developing a successful game plan for your family. For an emergency checklist of tips on how to prepare your family, visit www.ready.ohio.gov.
Have you saved a life today?
I took 2 flood victims to a shelter.
I donated a day's pay to help a family that lost everything in a fire.
Have you saved a life today?
I teach a class in infant CPR.
I donated a pint of blood.
Have you saved a life today?
No. But today somebody saved mine.
The American Red Cross. Together, we can save a life.
Parents, there's something you can do to protect your kids from drugs and alcohol. Combine ground beef with egg, tomato sauce, breadcrumbs, and spices. Bake in an oven-safe pan at 350 for 50 minutes. Serve hot.
This is Jamie Lee Curtis. Children who eat dinner with their families are less likely to smoke, drink, or use drugs. So, have dinner together every day.
Delicious.
A message from CASA, the National Center on Addiction and Substance Abuse at Columbia University.
Welcome back to Ashland Tonight News. I'm Rana Hamiye, here with your latest entertainment news from Hollywood. Former American Idol star Kelly Pickler will be at the Crawford County Fair on July 14. Pickler, who is a finalist on American Idol Season 5, is best known for her hit Red High Heels. Today, her song Things That Never Cross a Man's Mind is one of the top 20 on the country music charts after her first album, Small Town Girl, went gold within 3 months of its release. Pickler's fans will be crowded on July 14 at 9 p.m. in the main grandstand during the 151st Annual Crawford County Fair to watch her perform her best songs. Popular artist Britney Spears has been filming herself for the past few months in order to release her explosive video diaries, which will show the world what she has been through. It's anticipated that the video will include both sad moments during which the pop star, who actually lost custody earlier this year, was close to break down, as well as dynamite footages. Britney's former boyfriend Justin Timberlake and her ex-husband Kevin Federline are concerned about her revealing intimate details about their relationships, especially if the video is going to end up on the internet, as one of the sources explained. In fact, it was reported in January that her paparazzi boyfriend Adnan Ghalib was attempting to put her 6 video diaries for sale for about $2 million. And to celebrities and politics, recent estimations show that Oprah Winfrey's poll numbers have been dropping since she endorsed Barack Obama. It seems that the daytime television diva is hurting herself much more than benefiting her home state Senator Obama. Oprah has enjoyed a massive fame and popularity tied to her highest-rated talk show in the history of television. However, CBS poll found her favorable rating had dropped from 74% to 61% in August 2007 after announcing on May 1st last year during Larry King Live on CNN that she was going to endorse and campaign for political candidate Obama. It seems that Oprah has paid a high price for immersing herself in the dirty business of politics, as one professor of political science suggested. And now to your top 5 box office hits. Coming at number 5, Leatherheads with 6 points, $3 million. Nims Island with $9.1 million. Falling down the chart is 21 with $10.5 million. In second place is Street Kings at $12.5 million. And finally, the top box office hit is Prom Night. It talks about a horrible tragedy of Donna, who, with the help of her friends, tried to find a way to escape the sadistic rampage of an obsessed killer, bringing the $20.8 million. Well, that wraps up all the Hollywood news. Stay tuned for more AU News.
Is she thirsty or diabetic? Is he tired or arthritic? Subtle behavioral changes can be early signs of disease in pets. These changes are often less obvious in cats, which can be better than dogs at hiding illness. But a wellness exam from your veterinarian twice a year can help detect, treat, or prevent many health problems before they become serious. So call your veterinarian and schedule your pet's wellness exam today.
When will the next natural disaster hit? A public health crisis strike? Another terrorist threat emerge? How long will it take for help to arrive? Ohio Citizen Corps is committed to making every minute count by having volunteers ready. Physicians, nurses, teachers, retirees, everyone can help. You can make a difference. Join Ohio Citizen Corps. Call or go to serveohio.org. The time to prepare for trouble is before it hits.
Do you know that stroke targets by color? Odds are, if you're African American, you're twice as likely to suffer a stroke as white Americans. Know where you stand, because beating the odds isn't about winning, it's about living. Join the power to end stroke at strokeassociation.org.
Congratulations on the promotion.
I hope you're saving extra money.
You gotta put it in stocks.
If you want to get ahead.
No, bonds.
And CDs.
Way to go.
Better balance.
Stick it under the mattress.
Getting plenty of advice, but not enough facts? Visit saveandinvest.org. No confusing advice, no sales pitch. Just unbiased information and tools to help you manage your money with confidence. Saveandinvest.org.
Welcome back to Ashland 2 Night News. We would like to encourage you to have your voice heard through your vote. Voting for the 2008-2009 Student Senate is online. Voting began at 9 o'clock a.m. on Monday, April 14th, and will end today. So be sure to log in to send in your vote.
The Country Bag Lady Tour 2008 is brought to you by the international students. There are 12 businesses that we'll be visiting. Some of them are Bread and Brew, Always in Bloom, Depot Street Designs, and many more. So stop at the Eagle's Nest at 10 a.m. this Saturday.
You're invited to a tribute to Betty Whitted. The College of Education will be celebrating her 22 years of service to Ashland University Thursday, May 1st. The event will take place in the Schar Lecture Hall at 3:30 p.m.
Well, that about does it for tonight's Ashland Tonight News.
We would just like to thank our TV2 crew, and if you're interested in helping out with Ashland's TV station, you can email tv2@ashland.edu. Also, be sure to check out Sweet Donkey Radio Tuesdays at 5, the show Jake and myself enjoy hosting.
That's right, and don't forget to join us next Wednesday for more Ashland news.
Thanks for joining us.
Have a great night, everyone.
Good night.